I've been fortunate enough to have the opportunity to play this game since I was in 4th grade, and I've been with the Panthers now for 8 years, and it's never the right time to step away, but now is the right time for me, and it's a tough decision. I've thought about it a lot. There's only one way to play this game since I was a little kid is to play fast and play physical and play strong, and at this point I don't know if I'm able to do that anymore, and that's the part that is the most difficult. I still want to play, but I don't think it's the right decision, so.
2 nights ago, by the time y'all are seeing this, Luke Kuechly announced his retirement from the NFL at only 28 years old. The video was emotional, man, and you can tell he wrestled with that decision and knows he could play another Pro Bowl year if he chose to. But kind of like we saw Andrew Luck do, he's making a long-term life decision, and I respect the hell out of that. Obviously this wasn't the scheduled video for today, but we've definitely got to take a moment to honor a legend and one of the greatest players of our time. We're talking about a cat who showed up every week, never complained, and never seemed to get tired of racking up tackles versus your favorite team. And after he finished completely terrorizing your squad, all you could say is, damn, goddamn Kuechly cold, boy. He used his second-to-none motor and his advanced ability to read an offense to put together one of the greatest 8-year careers we've ever seen in the NFL. Bro, the game haven't seen that many players like Luke Kuechly, and he's gonna be missed, not just by Panthers fans, but by football fans, fans of all teams who love and respect his game. This is what happened to Luke Kuechly. Cue the Wayne. Luke Kuechly grew up in Evandale, Ohio. He was the middle child in his family with an older brother named John and a younger brother named Henry. His dad brought the boys up as avid outdoorsmen, and Luke was bird hunting by the time he was 4 years old. His parents always stressed the importance of keeping things in perspective and made a conscious effort to treat all of their sons the same, even when Luke would go on to become one of the best linebackers in the NFL. His older brother's in the Army, his younger brother plays basketball, and in the Kuechly household, they're all equal. That's dope. Now, Luke was actually born in Cincinnati and grew up a Bengals fan, and there's no reality where I wasn't including that in this video. In an interview, Luke once recalled that one of his earliest football memories comes from when he was 8 years old and his family attended a Cincinnati Bengals versus Cleveland Browns game. In that game, running back Corey Dillon went for 192 and 3 touchdowns. And instead of thinking, oh man, I'm gonna play running back, one day I'm gonna be just like Corey Dillon, I'm gonna run for 200 yards. Luke was just wired different. He was thinking, yo, one day I'm gonna tackle dudes like that. Like, who's thinking like that? The first time Luke Kuechly played organized football was in the 4th grade. And right out the gate, he wanted to play defense. Luke was a linebacker from day one. He was never the fastest or the most athletic, and dude was always asking questions about coverages and trying to get an edge. Again, we talking way back in 4th grade. During a family picnic when dude was still in elementary school, a football conversation popped off, right? A 5th grade Luke chimes in, and he starts explaining how you could diagnose a run play when you see the guard pull. Right there, you knew he was gonna be an NFL linebacker if he just grew. Dude was way ahead of the game and clearly loved and embraced the linebacker position from day one. In high school, he was the exact opposite of most kids. Most kids want the damn ball. This cat would actually go home complaining when they put him at tight end. He hated playing offense. He just wanted to hit people. His high school coach finally moved him to linebacker at the start of his junior season. 147 tackles, 6 sacks, and 2 interceptions later, his team was 15-0 with the state title, and Luke had earned scholarship offers to Stanford, Virginia, Duke, and more. Ultimately, he chose to attend Boston College, and as a true freshman, a 6'3", 220-pound Luke Kuechly got the starting job at outside linebacker after the original starter was tragically diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. Not really the way you want to get this starting job, but Luke did make the most most of it once he was put in position. He led the team in tackles with 158 total. That was the most by any freshman in college football and the second most of any player in college football that year. For his play, Luke was honored by being named ACC Freshman of the Year. His tackle numbers got more and more ridiculous every year he was in college. And after 3 years as a starter, dude was a 3-time first-team All-American. He was 3-time All-ACC. And his junior year, which would be his final of his college career, he won the Butkus Award, the Lombardi Award, the Bronco Nagurski, Jack Lambert, and ACC Defensive Player of the Year. So basically, he just hoarded every single defensive award there is. He took all of them, bro. He left school following his junior season. He'd packed on 22 pounds of muscle during college. He was now 242, running a high 4.5 and a 40. Ever since the 4th grade, he had continued to build on his ability to read defenses. And at this point, it was second nature, and he had the physical tools to go along with it. He was a true linebacker in every sense of the word, and he fully embraced and understood the position. During the 2012 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers selected their defensive anchor for the next decade when they drafted Luke Kuechly, 9th overall. Former All-Pro in his own right, John Beeson was the starting middle linebacker when Luke got there. And it's kind of strange, but it seems like fate was just always on Luke's side when it came to getting him in that starting position, because John Beeson got injured that year, was placed on injury reserve. Luke Kuechly got into that middle linebacker spot. He never, ever let it go, literally until a couple days ago. Luke Kuechly actually refused to have cable television in his home for the first 4 years of his career. He felt it was something that could distract him from watching film. That's how dedicated to being a great player this man was. Due in large part to that dedication, Luke wasted zero time acclimating to the pros, winning Defensive Rookie of the Year with 164 total tackles. That's 103 solo, 1 sack, 2 picks, 8 pass deflections, and 3 fumble recoveries, all during his rookie year. Yeah, that's Madden numbers, dog. But it didn't save him from rookie hazing. One day, during his rookie season, one of the older linebackers handed Luke a helmet and told him that he needed to get a certain number of signatures before practice started. Luke, being the overachiever that he is, went to all the team captains because he wanted to get the best of the best signatures. He got Cam, Steve Smith, Greg Olsen, and several other of the team's top players to sign the helmet. When he took it back to the older linebackers, they said they didn't need the helmet anymore and told him to do whatever he wanted with it. A confused Luke went back to his locker and realized that his helmet was missing. When he looked down at the signature filled helmet in his hands, it finally hit him that he had been getting his helmet signed all along. So he had to go out to practice wearing something that honestly would have made a killing on eBay, but probably looked pretty ridiculous to all of his teammates. He followed up the next year by becoming only the 2nd player in NFL history to win Defensive Rookie of the Year and then win Defensive Player of the Year the very next season. The only other guy in the history of the league to do that, Lawrence Taylor. So we talking about the elite of the elite. In 2016, Luke signed a $62 million contract, making him the highest paid middle linebacker in the league. All he did after that was help lead the Panthers to a Super Bowl in that very same season. He played well in the game, recording 10 tackles and a sack, but as we know, the Panthers fell short. Still, Luke ranked number 7 on the players' top 100 list that season. From 2012 when he came into the league to 2019 when he retired, Luke Kuechly was either the top or one of the top linebackers in the NFL. And with the exception of his rookie season, he made the Pro Bowl every single year. Again, with the exception of his rookie season, he was either first or second team All-Pro every year of his career. And just to put into perspective just how cold this dude was, let's go over his worst season, all right? His worst statistical season in the NFL was 2016. So during his worst season as a pro, the man had 102 tackles, 2 sacks, a pick, and a forced fumble. And the reason that was his worst season was because he only played in 10 games that year due to a concussion that he sustained. That kind of brings us to the next thing. Concussions. Concussions were a pretty regular part of Luke's career. He doesn't outright say that that's why he's retiring. He just says that he knows he can't play strong and fast like he used to. But we know, based on last year's numbers, he's still an extremely effective player. So because of that, it's reasonable to assume that concussions definitely played a part in his early retirement. I mean, he's literally coming off another Pro Bowl season. Now, Luke has only suffered 3 reported concussions during his career, but we're talking about a guy who literally has over 1,000 tackles, okay, in 8 seasons. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that he's had more than 3 concussions. Besides just that, I'm sure Luke's body was beat down as well. When you look at vids I've done on players like Calvin Johnson and Andrew Luck, 2 players whose bodies took major damage during the course of their careers. We talking about a wide receiver and a quarterback, okay? So imagine how a linebacker must feel. And like Patrick Willis before him, he came, he saw, he dominated, and now he's gone, you know? As tough as it is, I really respect players like Luke Kuechly who walk away early. His career is so tight and neat because he came in dominating and he left out dominating. Pro Bowl and All-Pro numbers every single season. Always playing hard and fast and with a fearlessness and a motor that jumped off the screen. His ability to read offenses was second to none, and dude always had respectable character and carried himself with dignity and class. So love, respect, admiration goes out to Luke Kuechly. Good luck in this next stage of your life, bro. My name is FlemLo Raps. Give me your best Luke Kuechly memory in the comment section. I'ma holler at you next time, fellas. One.
Hey, Oaks playing this week?
Nope.
Why not? What happened?
Come on, bro. What? Can't tell. Stupid.